Okay, wonderful people, welcome back to this video. And in this video, we're going to continue our series from the previous video, which will be the part 2 of the EasyEat app. So sit down and enjoy the video. In this video, we're going to continue creating our app from the previous episode. Now in this app, we're going to create ratings section and also the trending brands section. From the previous video, we are having this progress. So this is our progress from the previous video. So without wasting my time, I'm going to start my metro server, which is npm start. So I have my metro server running. Let me bring this guy here. Okay. So now app should restart and then we are good to go. So we are going to create our rating component. But before we do that, from the previous video, we realized that these images are the same across all items, which is not supposed to be so. So we're going to just update that one real quick. So I'll go to place item and then I'll look for background. So I'll just change this source to image. Okay, so we have that one updated. So now we are having dynamic images across board and our list is now fine. So we're going to create the rating component, which I'll just go to my components folder, create a new file called rating.js. Now I'll open this to the side. So this is our rating component and I'll return a view for now, an empty view. So have view from React Native and this is going to be what I will return. So I'll just import that one over here. So after the location, we're going to have rating. Now we're going to accept the rating and then an optional prop, which would be the max rate. So before we continue, we're going to do rating dot default rating the default props. So our max rate is an optional rate, but then the default is equal to 5. So if you don't pass in anything, the maximum rating that you can get for this rate is 5. So what we're going to do is to now create our component. Now before I continue, there is an existing library for React Native rating, which works in most cases. But in this case, we're trying to build custom components from scratch. So I took the opportunity to, show how we can do this just to display simple rating. So if you want to add events and other stuff, I would recommend that you use the React Native rating library because that is more advanced and, tested than what we are going to do today. We're going to import the star icon from our icon fonts. So I will do icon from React Native vector icons, iron icons. we are going to add icon over here. Now let's have the name of the icon to be star, and then our size is equal to 20. So let me save. Okay, the size is 8. 8 is small, so 10. Okay, so we have 1 star, and our color is gold. So this is going to be our star rating. So I'm just going to apply some styles to it. So constant styles is equal to style sheet. We define the container style, and I'm going to say margin top of 8 or 6. Let me put it 6, and now apply this container. So style. Okay, so it's a bit far, so I'm going to make it, okay, 6 is fine. Now the next thing that we have to do is to generate our stars. So in normal sense, we're going to have something like this. So let's say it's 5. We're going to have something like this. So let's say flex direction row. Okay, so we're going to have something like this. Now we want to dynamically generate this stars and also gray out certain stars, sorry, because if your rating is not up to 5, then we have to gray out 1 or 2 or 3 or 4, all of them. We have to gray out those stars. So now we're going to add the logic. So what we're going to do, okay, so hold on, let me add this one so that we don't come back. So we're going to have a text, because from the image we have this text over here which brings out the rating. So we're going to say rating. So I'll format the document, and let me give a style to that one. So I'm going to say rating text, and our rating text is going to have the font size of 12. Font size of 12, and a margin start of 5. So now let's add our rating. So we're going to say rating is equal to 5. So we have this. Now we need to make sure that it's in center. So we're going to do align items, and we say center. So we have that. Okay, I think I have to apply this. Class style is equal to styles dot rating text. Okay, now we have that one. So let me come here and change the ratings. So we have 5.0. 5.0. Yes. Oh, okay. So before we go on, let's apply the rating from here. So we have the rating right here. So we have 4.2, 4.2, 5.0, which, okay, it's fine. All right, so the next thing that we have to add is the logic to generate the styles. So we added logic to generate the styles that we have over here. And let's go down to, before we return anything, we have to generate that. And we're going to use effects for this because we're going to change some values and we're also going to generate something. So I'm going to use effects. We are using effects, and this is dependent on rating and the max rate. So when these values change, we have to run this effect again. So imagine we are having, a rating that changes frequently. We have to use this approach. So I'll format the document, and we are now going to use our effect. So we're going to create a constant variable that I'm going to call the m stars. This is going to be an array that contains our stars, and from there we're going to do a for loop. So we have a for, and we're going to say the start number. So I'm going to do start num is equal to 0. No. So let's change this to so we have our start num is less than or equal to max rate, and we increase from, so we start from 1 and we increase from 1 to the number. So what we're going to do in the for loop is to create the star. So we're going to do constant star is equal to, so we bring this star over here, we bring this star, and we're going to have it like this. So we have the star. Now we're going to generate the color depending on the rate. So if the rating, the current number, which is the start num, is the same or less than or equal to the rate that you pass in, or the rating, then we give it a color of gold. So we're going to say start num is less than or equal to rate. You say gold, or you give us a color of D9, 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 D9. So this is going to be our star. So we're going to say m stars dot push star. Now that is going to be our flow. So we need to get m stars in our scope, and for that I'm going to use what we call the state. So I'm going to use state so I'm going to say constant stars and set stars is equal to use state, and our default stars is going to be an empty stars. So we're going to say after the for loop, we're going to say set stars is equal to, so we pass in the m stars. That's going to be our current, and within our view we're going to just bring render stars. Now before we continue, we need to add the key. So the key over here, key is equal to start num, which is a dynamic number, so we can use that one. So once we have that, is okay, so we're going to say invalid rate. Okay, so let me change this one to rating because I'm using rating. So we have a start num 0 and our color, let's see, because it's giving us, okay, so now we have it. So if we are dealing with 4.5, we are using the 4 stars. Our 5 is having all the stars. We are having 4.2 over here. So let's change 102. So let's change Eddie's Pizza to 2.2, 2.4. Yeah. So if we change it to 2.4, we're having 2 stars, and that is our rating. So if we change it from 3.1, we have 3 stars. If we change it to 0, we have 0. So all our stars is grayed out. And also, if we should go to our popular item and then we change the max rate to, let's say, 10, we're going to have 10 stars. So we have 10 stars. It means that we are now creating dynamic, content, and the rate can be changed. So if for some reasons your rating is, more than 5, you can specify it over here and it will still work. So let's make it 5. Yeah, anyway, so I remove it. So that is our rating section. Now we are done with our rating component. We can go straight to the trending component. Okay, so we create our trending brand section. So we have the title, which will be the trending brands, and then the view, and then the list. So we're going to create the component right now. So in our component folder, we're going to have the trending list.js. So our JS have this. So I'm going to do an MR. Oh no, spot default function, and our function is going to be trending list. So in here we're going to have a view, so return, and we have view, and in the view we have a section header. So section, I don't know, but then, oh no, so we have a section, oh, let me see from the components, section header. So we have this. Section header. We have section header. So our title is going to be trending brands. So we're just going to add our so we go to app of the JS and we add the trending list. So we have the trending brands over here, and that will be all. Before we continue, let's have a style for our container. So container, and then we come down here to constant styles is equal to style sheet, and then we have our container style, container margin vertical of 24 thing, yes, so that it moves away from the first list. We're going to have our horizontal list, which is here, and we need to add a few more things. So our key extractor is function that passes in the item. So we open the module.js. Over here we are having the trending brands, and each and every one has an ID, so we can use the ID as the key extractor. So item ID. So the next thing that we have to do is to also let me check from horizontal list. We need the data and also the render item. So I'll just pass in the data. So we have the data from the modules, which is going to be trending. So we have the trending brands, and we are going to also have the render item. So the render item, we're going to define render item over here. Now what we have to do is to render each and every item. So if you look at the image, we have each and every item in the list. So that's what we're going to render. So we're going to create constant render item. So now we need to create the item component, so the brand item component. So let me call it trending item. So call it new file, trending item, or your trending list item.js. So we have that one created, and we can make it go to the right, and trending list. Okay, so you come here, trending list, go right, yes. So you can bring this one here. So we're going to import React, export default function, and then we name we have it export default function trending list item. So we have the trending list item. We're going to, let me see, yeah, we're passing from the module. So I'll do module from here. We have the name, distance, and image. So we have distance and image. So let me bring this one here. So this is going to be our function. I'll format the document. Okay, there's an error. Format document. Okay. So we're going to return a view for now. So we have a view. So view. So this is our return. Export default function, and then return the view. Okay, so we are just going to come here, go to the trending list, and then the render item. Now our render item is going to equal to, we are going to have what we call the item, and the item returns the trending list item where we pass in the name. So what are we going to do is get everything in item. So once we pass everything in item, we will get it in the prop. So the next thing that we have to do is to create the style for this. So let me save this, and then there is also a data that I'm supposed to render, but since we are, so let me do p, have a p, and say the name. So if I should display the name, you realize that we have the list over here. So the next thing that we have to do is to create that, and we're going to do it. Okay, so let's style our list item from here. So now that we have it, we can now apply some styles. So I'm going to do constant styles. We have the container. So a container is going to be the main view. So let's apply that style over here. So we're going to do style is equal to styles dot container. So we have the container specified. We have a border radius. Let's give it some border. And our border color is going to be EE. So let's save and see. Okay, since we don't have any padding, we don't get to see. So let's add some width. Our width is 100. Now we have that one. And we have a padding of 8. Now we should see the border. Let me see border. Okay, so border width, I'm sure. Border width, we have a 1. So now we have this. The last thing is to make sure that they are centered. So we have justify content center and align items center. So we have our text in the middle. Nicely done. Now the next thing that we have to do is to add the image. So let's do image. And our source is image. Oh no. Okay, so we're having this, but it is so big. So we're going to add some styles. So before we do, we have the cover, resize mode. We're going to say cover. Our resize mode is contain. And we apply some styles. So style is equal to styles.logo. Now let's define our logo. We are saying the logo, our width is 50, that is half of size, and also our height is 50. So that is our logo. Now we need to define the name, because from here we have the name, so we style the name. So we make this styles style is equal to styles dot name. Now what we have to do is to define that style, so we're going to do styles name. So our name, the font size is 12. And we should make it bold. So we're going to use a different font family. So font family is equal to Fira Sans bold. Yes, so it becomes bold, and we give it some margin. So our margin vertical is, let's say, 4. Yes, so now it's far from what we have. So our list, we are able to have that one. Now there is this section in the UI that says 45 minutes, 30 minutes, but I'm going to use the distance, which is the kilometers away from here. So with that one, we're going to create a view again. So we have a view, and now we have the text. So we have a P, and we're going to have distance. So this is going to be the distance. Now we need to style it, so we're going to have a style for this one. So we're going to say distance styles dot distance container, and then styles is equal to styles dot distance text. So let's apply the style. So we have style, and then we have distance container. Over here we have padding. We should give it the padding horizontal of 8. Now let's see. Okay, no difference. Our background color is EEE. So now we have that one. Now we need to give it pattern vertical of 5. So pattern vertical of 5. Let's see. Okay, and about our radius, we have our border radius, and that is 5 2. So we see. Now we're going to give a different style to our text, and that one is going to be distance text, and we have font size of 10. Yes, so now we have it this way, and we can make it a different font family. So I'm going to say font family, and our font family is going to be Free Sans Medium. Yes, so that's all we have for today, and in the next video we're going to look at the detailed view of the restaurant selected. Thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a like if you think we deserve it. Bye for now.